I get the N64 is a very overrated console. The fact that every YouTuber said that they have nostalgia for the N64, despite only 32 million copies of the console being sold, nobody says they have nostalgia playing the PS1, is kind of fishy for me. Okay? Even my old parents said, oh my god, Mario is so revolutionary. Really. But really, if you think about it, Mario 64 was kind of the first 3D console game released that actually sold copies. Of course, there were probably games that were released before, but nobody played them. There were games of the PS1 that were released, but the PS1 came out before the N64. And, yeah. And this is comparing it to Spyro. The same to develop fantasy art style setting. Spyro don't ever made everything 3D, made everything most fantastic even today. Invented revolution new tech, constantly goes contract. Every new single character has personality, new emerging series. No unified puzzle female style, took a while shortcuts, looked bad even for its time, overly populated concepts, existing concepts in tech, few good tracks, highlights, and now music. Characters have no personality and just another install of a huge threat. It says the stores are know the difference. It could save your wife. Okay. And I never understood, like, when I was growing up, okay, when I was first exposed to YouTube, okay, the N64, it was so weird. It's because every single YouTuber was like, oh my god, I have so much nostalgia for Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie is such an icon. Mega Man's such an icon. Okay? And I've been fed these over and over and over and over and over again. Same thing with, Mario 64 is such a revolutionary game. Same thing with Ocarina of Time is the greatest game of all time. So you kind of have to, someone has to kind of question this stuff at this point. Okay? Is Mega Man really that iconic? Is Banjo-Kazooie really that iconic? It really found out that Will got screwed over by Microsoft, but is Mega Man really as iconic as Mario and Sonic as the internet would like to believe you? Okay. Is, the N64 really the greatest console of all time? Okay. When there's really another console that was just as important that sold way more copies was the PS1. I never played a PS1 before, but the PS1 had some very important games that sold a lot of copies, like, Gran Turismo, Metal Gear Solid, and Final Fantasy VII. All three are very important games for the gaming industry. And of course, let's not forget the Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon series. Okay? Or the fact that Croc was a series that nobody talks about, sold as many copies as Banjo-Kazooie. We really live in a world, well, the internet really does warp your perception of nostalgia and iconic. What is really iconic anymore? If a series like Mega Man is as iconic as Mario, yet his game can't even outsell a game like Pikmin 3 Deluxe, you really have to wonder, is this character really that iconic? Even though Mega Man is being outsold by Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I guess is Elf for Pikmin 3 as iconic as Mario? And you really gotta realize that the internet isn't really everything. Okay? And the same thing can be said about Mario 64. Mario 64 was revolutionary for the time, but Mario 64 has kind of aged poorly compared to other Mario games. I still love Mario 64, but every 3D Mario game has improved upon Mario 64, especially Mario Galaxy and Mario Odyssey, and Mario Sunshine are all improvements over the same system that Mario 64 created. And especially Nintendo's next Mario game will also be an improvement over Mario 64, using the same formula as those games. And the music for Mario 64, you really have to diss on the Mario 64 soundtrack. That is probably the most dumbest thing you could probably say, because Mario 64 has a golden soundtrack. Okay? It has so many iconic songs for the Mario series. That, as well. But yeah, I do believe that Spyro as a series does deserve to be talked way more than it is online than, Mario 64. But Mario 64 is still sold more copies than I think every Spyro game ever sold. So that's about this video here. Goodbye.